Hi there, it's been a while, but this time we have some more Minecraft tech. An item sorter that can be built in survival mode, so that means you don't need command blocks, although you can probably build something more efficient with command blocks, but you don't need them. And it takes raw chickens, feathers, and eggs, and sticks them in separate chests. And up top, we have our water-based item funnel, and it's perfect for raising chickens in. It's a 5x5 space with 1 block of water in each corner, which holds the chickens in place and also draws items to the center. So if we threw our items in here, and then go down to the bottom, we can see that they are gliding over some hoppers that are positioned underneath some water, and they'll go into the respective hoppers, which will then put them into their respective chests. So if we take these out, we should have exactly 10 in our hotbar of each item, which we do, perfect. And it's fairly easy to set up. What you need is, first, you need 1 hopper to absorb the items that are going through the channel for each item. So in this case, we have chicken. And then we have another hopper underneath it to take the items from the top hopper. We need to do this because this thing can't be allowed to put items in a container. If it does, it'll just keep doing it, and then any item can put in here. You know, if you threw redstone in, it would be in here. Doesn't matter, it's not going to sort anything. So we need to have this pointed at a block. Just, you know, right click the block whenever you're placing it and it'll attach it, and then it won't actually be giving anything. It'll only be absorbing items that fall on it. And this down below will only be absorbing items from the top whenever it's necessary. So to make that happen, what we need is a redstone comparator, and that will determine how much power to output based on how many items are in this hopper. So right now we have exactly enough, and if we put 1 more in here, this will be activated. It will put a 2 strength redstone signal out, which will disable this torch, which is the only thing keeping this hopper from sucking all the items out of this. So, if we were to give this a test and throw 10 in there, we can see them decreasing, this disables, and you can see them being passed through the here, and on the other side, we do have our 10 back. There is one that gets stuck in this pipe. You can prevent that from happening by just having another hopper siphoning off of this hopper instead of it being the thing that both siphons off of this and also puts it into the other one, but I wanted this to be a bit more compact because I'm close to bedrock, so I didn't do that. So it's fairly straightforward. It doesn't take much redstone, and it's pretty easy to get it done in survival mode. However, in survival mode, you're also going to want to do something with those eggs. If you have a chicken farm, you're going to need to be able to pump those eggs back up and make chickens out of them, right? And dispensers can do that for us, so we just need to transport the eggs up to a dispenser and then fire it. So we have here is a switch that will do that. So if we put eggs in here, such as 32 there, and then pull the trigger, it will eventually shoot eggs up there. So first, might as well just demonstrate it. We can see that the eggs are being fired, and we do have chickens, or chicks at any rate, popping out. Let's shut that off because it's noisy as hell. And now, to figure out how this all works. Well, the switch is right here at this input block sort of thing. And it's throwing its signal down here and into this gold block, which is disabling this hopper. So as long as the switch is on, this hopper is off. And also, we are inverting the signal, so as long as the switch is on, that also means that this clock is off. The clock is a 1-tick clock, and it's fairly easy to make. You just take a comparator, enable it, you just right-click it once to enable its little torch at the end, and then feed its own output signal into its side, and that will make this constantly go. So if we were to disable this, like so, it's going to keep firing until we get redstone and stick it back on there, and then it'll shut up, which is great. And we need to make sure the redstone goes all the way up at the top so that it doesn't make too much noise. It'll be like click, 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 click. Instead it's like click, click, click. So we have the redstone being fed into this repeater, which is then making sure it gets the maximum amount of signal going up these slabs and into these droppers. And the droppers will all, this is a dropper as well, by the way, being fed from this hopper, and the droppers will all be activating at once, spitting it out into this dispenser, which will then fire out the chicks. So once again, I'll just enable that so we can see it working. The clock is firing, this is going up, the redstone is going up there and across here where the chicks would be fired. Perfect. Now, if you find your items are being a bit clogged, you need additional chest space, all you have to do is just have one chest on top of another being fed by one of these hoppers, and whenever this one, or whenever the bottom's full, the top will just start filling up, and you can sort of build out your treasure hoard that way. Just make sure you have space to build downward if you decide to do that. And that's pretty much it. And I'll see you next time.